Okay, so we're going to find out who the VP pick is for Donald Trump. Burgum, again, somebody nobody really knows, including me. J.D. Vance, Marco Rubio. I'd even say Tim Scott, but even that I'm reluctantly using. But we do know Don Jr. is very close to J.D. Vance, and we hear that Don Jr. is going to be the one who's going to be introducing J.D. Vance. Are we reading tea leaves too much here?
They're good tea leaves to read. You know, it's interesting because the name that's been bandied about in the past that hasn't been lately is Elise Stefanik.
Oh,
if Trump were a strategist, actually that would be a really good VP pick. Because as a woman, she could probably, for them, mitigate some of the reproductive rights issues. She's from New York, so because New York plays so heavily in the race to get Democrats to be back in control of the House, it runs through New York. She's from New York, and it's his home state. So there are a lot of potential advantages with her, and she was, you know, sort of very outspoken and kind of shined during the grilling of the university presidents. But he's not that strategic. Loyalty is all that really matters to him. J.D. Vance, you know, comes from an important state for Republicans. He comes across as someone who's going to be sort of Trump's wingman, his right-hand man. I think he likes that sort of the persona of a J.D. Vance. So my guess is that that's the direction he's going to go in. But, you know, you never know with Donald Trump.
Well, he's also a misogynist, so that's the reason why he's not going to pick a woman. Molly, right now we're, 2 days out from this convention? We don't have a list of all of the names of the people that are going to be speaking there. We did hear, as we just discussed, Nikki Haley didn't get an invite, which was an obvious slight. But I feel like this RNC is going to be like CPAC on steroids. It's going to be something that we already know. It's the same people, the same messaging, the same story. The only kind of big question mark is the VP pick.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of craziness. And we already know Marjorie Taylor Greene. We've seen it's, you know, what has been really helpful for Democrats is that Republicans are really ruled by the basest aspects of their base. So you have people in the remember, Democrats have it's not the same, but they have, you know, people who are more lefty, and those people don't get to speak at the convention, right? Because they are not running the party. Whereas in the right, you have these people who are totally different, but who are far right zealots who have crazy ideas. Marjorie Taylor Greene came up with, you know, came from the world of QAnon, right, and came from the world of these wild conspiracy theories. Remember space lasers, Jewish space lasers? So she's going to speak at the convention. So think about that. And what I think really does help Democrats is that this party is so far right and cannot temper its basest aspects that I do think that this convention will provide an opportunity to highlight that.
Like I said, CPAC on steroids. I mean, that's really what's going to be. I mean, Basil, what is happening, though, is new, is Team Trump is really kind of upping their attacks on Kamala Harris. And it has nothing to do with the Biden kind of criticisms. I think it very healthily is because she's a very real threat. She is a female candidate. She's a woman of color. What does it say to you? Is it coinciding with the idea that Trump's about to announce his VP pick as well?
Well, there are a couple of things, and I'm going to say this and be in all fairness, because I've written about it. Our colleague Molly Jong-Fast has written about it. You know, Kamala has been under attack by both folks within her party, sadly, and certainly on the right. And we've certainly seen that pick up in the last few days. I think Sebastian Gorka called her colored, is the word that he used.
Yeah.
And so
DEI pick is what they said.
And the New York Post said she was going to be the DEI president. So there is a wave of criticism coming at her from the right. I actually don't think Democrats are prepared to withstand that, which is an issue that I pay a lot of attention to. But when the fact that it's coming from the right is a way to sort of suppress the interest in her and then continue to pump up Joe Biden so that we can continue to focus on the negative attention being placed on Joe Biden right now. It is a way to dismiss and reduce the entire Democratic ticket at the same time. So, and remember, this is a message that's being sent primarily to independent voters, right? A lot of suburban voters that are coming from the right, because for his own base, it's sort of built in already, right?
Yeah.
But these are two independent voters that are going to pick up on this. Well, she's going to be vice president, but doesn't really deserve it. And that is an extraordinarily troubling line when you, of course, add in the race and gender aspects to this.
Molly, I got less than a minute. I want to stick on this, though, for a second, because I actually think that Basil's too elegant about it because he's a very elegant guy. I think it's because they are as base as you talk about in the Republican Party and because they are racist about Kamala Harris. And I also think it's because they want to keep, as Basil says, the negative attention on Joe Biden, which is not the right attention to be had. And so the one thing that Basil said that I want to follow up with you. Is the Democratic Party prepared to be able to deal with the onslaught of the Kamala Harris attacks that we know are about to come?
Again, that's an impossible question to answer, but I would say this is a woman who was Attorney General. She was a senator. She had, she's the second black female senator in the Senate. I mean, this woman is a history maker. She has done incredible stuff. She's also become a 10 times better politician than when she started, right? I mean, we've seen in the last 4 years her grow to really own the issue of reproductive health. So I think she's become quite a gifted orator, which for this ticket is very useful. So I am a big fan of hers. I think that she's quite smart, and I think she's quite adept, and I think that she will end up being Joe Biden's greatest asset. Yeah. And I think that she, look, people are racist and sexist in this country. We know that. And that is why, it's 10 times harder for her. But she is also very, very good at this. I think she's become very, very good at this. So I am really looking forward to see what she does because I think she really can do a great job here.
She's fantastic, and she's proven it. She's done it for 4 years. I mean, if there's anything experience to speak about, she's done it. So Basil Smikle Jr., Molly Jong-Fast, thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it.
Hey there, MSNBC fans. I'm Luke Russert, and be sure to join me, Rachel Maddow, Jen Psaki, Lawrence O'Donnell, Steve Kornacki, Joy Reid, and many more September 7th in Brooklyn, MSNBC Live Democracy 2024. Click on the link for ticket information. We will see you there.